Good morning, my lovelies. I am back to working on wedding bouquets today, and I thought maybe I'd share a little bit of the process. So I'm starting with baby's breath to give it some base. This wedding bouquet does not have any greening, so normally the greening would protect the flowers and hold everything together, but without the greening, the flowers in the baby's breath are exposed and they could easily get damaged and broken. So I'm using a bouquet holder like this. I have not used these before, but I felt like that was the best option to hold things together and give it a wildflower look. So I've taken my daisies. I've got two different colors of daisies, the white and the yellow with the black center. And I've cleaned all of the edges. So all of the extra pieces that come off, I've used my knife and trimmed it so that if I have to reposition and pull that back out, it's not going to catch on things on the way back out and wreck anything. So this one, I've got 2 or 3 stems of baby's breath in the bouquet already. And then I'm going to add my daisies, and they're just going to be randomly placed because they're going to get moved around as I add more stuff into them anyways. So just to kind of give a base of color. And then I'm going to add some white ones in there. The white ones aren't going to stand out. They're going to blend in. And that allows the colors, the yellows and the other colors that I'm adding, to pop and be more of the focus. That is cute. Okay, I'm going to pause and go on to the next stage. All right, next we're going to prep some orange, no, they're not orange, they're peach, like peach colored spray roses. So there's about 4 different blooms on one stem. So they're called a spray rose or like a mini rose. And these are going to be like a peachy color to add into the wedding bouquets that I'm working on. I'm going to just trim them up. Take off any extra leaves because they're going to be in the way. And we don't want that. I'm going to retrim them and put them into a vase of water until I'm ready to use them. So I need 4. That one's quite big and not quite the right shape, so I'm probably going to pass on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 blooms on that one. I can make this one work, I think. Just take the extra greening off. This pop of peach is going to tone down all of the other colors that are going into this bouquet. That one's quite big. Let's try this one. Get these all cleaned up and ready, and then I will show you what they look like in the bouquet. I have 1 bride bouquet and 5 bridesmaid bouquets to make. Take a little bit more off of that one. So I've got the bride bouquet done and 1 bridesmaid, and then I have 4 more of these to make. So adding that color in there, oh, the lighting is terrible. It just adds a little something extra, some texture and color. So I'm going to go ahead and do all 4 of those. All right, next step is, make sure my microphone's on. Yep, we are good. I want to add some pink scabiosa. I wish the lighting here was better. It's just not. It's a pink scabiosa. So I'm going to add 3 of these into each bouquet. Just place them around, because again, things will probably get moved, but for now I look for spaces that I think they will sit. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so it's kind of like a triangle effect. Each of them seems to be going in like a triangle. And then I have a stilba, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I like the wildflower. Oof, these stems are not going to go in nicely, are they? I find that those will catch. So, yeah, I like the wildflower texture that this particular product offers, which is what we are going for, is as wildflower as possible. Okay, I did not trim these up properly before I started. But you know what? It's okay. Off because that's going to be in the way. So there's 1, 2, and 1 more of those. And so far they slide in nicely. I don't have to fight too much. So we are building a beautiful bouquet. What's next? All right, Orangium. It's like a blue thistle. I possibly should have added it in maybe before the Scabiosa, but we're going to slide that in there, and it's just going to add a little bit of blue because the groom and the groomsmen are wearing a navy blue suit, I believe. So adding a little bit of blue to tie them in, I think, seems appropriate. Slide those in on the edges, and then I'm going to kind of wiggle them in there just to blend them a little bit better. Perfect. So far. Okay. And then I have mini carnations. I have 2 types of pink, and we're just going to tuck them in wherever they want to go. Sometimes you just got to move around a little bit to find a spot. And then as the stems of the bouquet get a little bit fuller, it is harder sometimes to get them in there. You just got to be patient. It's all it is, a little bit of patience. Oh, I love that. Okay. 1 more of the hot pink in there somewhere. I'm going to cut the end off so that it slides in a little bit easier. I want that dark pink to be the pop, and the rest to just be supporting roles. Let's keep looking. Find the gap and fill it up. Good. So I'm doing 3 mini carns of each color. I'm actually going to put this one here too. Maybe. Let's go a little bit further. There's the stem. Let's just tuck it, pull it down from the bottom. Okay, 1 more of those. Let's go way over here. Come on. There you go. Okay, so that's added in the carnation. So next I have Cruspedia. Just these little yellow balls. And then after that, I have wheat and some bunny tails and some dried grasses. And I think that's everything on my list. And then I just fluff and rearrange and fill the gaps, make sure there's no spaces, make sure that, you know, there's no flowers hiding because you want all of your flowers to shine. 1, 2, 1 more. Go over here. Seems to be the theme of 3s in this bouquet, or in all of these bouquets. Okay, so you can see the Cruspedia in there. All right, onto the grasses. All right, so I'm ready for final touches. There's some gaps around the edges that I want to add some baby's breath into. And then I have wheat, and I have bunny tails, and I have some other grasses that are going to go in there just to top up the wildflower look. Just tuck those in there. Just around the edges, I've got some shorter pieces that broke off of the other larger pieces of baby's breath. So I'm tucking those into the sides just to give it a more full look. Fill up some gaps. Looks pretty good. A bit more there, maybe. Sometimes you just got to feed it out the bottom. Okay. Now, my wheat, I actually purchased a bundle of wheat from my florist supply company because it is already treated and ready to go. I do feel like these are a little bit long. We're just going to give them a little haircut. There's something, maybe that's better. It was just not sitting straight. Okay. I'm going to pause and I'm going to fast forward. All right, so I have all my grasses in there. I'm going to cut off all of my extra stems because they need to be able to sit in a vase. And then, after I've got all of them done, is usually when I like to put my ribbon around here. So I'm going to wrap it in floral tape and then choose probably an ivory satin ribbon to go around all of the stems just to make it easier to hold and add photo appeal. So there is a bridesmaid bouquet. Okay, I'm going to put some ribbon on my bouquets. I have a cordless glue gun, which, my goodness, is awesome. It just sits on its little charging dock. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue over top of my floral tape that I have there, just to hold it in place, and then I'm going to wrap it as much as I think I would like it to look. Probably a couple wraps around, I'm thinking. Maybe to about there, but I've also noticed that one of these stems sticks out a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can trim that up so that it's not felt through the ribbon. Okay, let's keep going. Try to figure out where my hands are going to be if I was holding this bouquet, and that's where I try to put the ribbon. So maybe I want to go a little bit higher. Okay, that will do. I'm going to get my ribbon scissors that cut a nice straight edge for me. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this part into place. Just like that. And then I have pins that I'm also going to put in right through the glue and the stems. They're going to go up inside the stems. No one is going to be poked by them. It just makes a nice little finish. Okay, done.